Okay. All right. Do I have your permission to record?
Yes, you do.
Okay, great. All right. Okay. Today is this session 8 is probably one of the hardest because it has Chinese, it's got English songs. These are fairly difficult ones. And I'm not also very familiar with them because it's been just a very busy month here. Um, but I wanted to do it anyway um, because of the advice I'll need from you on the different ones.
Mhm. Didn't we do the Chinese one last time?
I sent you the Chinese one actually as a private recording.
Oh,
I,
then that's
I
why I
never,
remember it
yeah,
because
yeah, I
it
never
sounded you sent it to me 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I
right.
gave you feedback. That's what.
Yes, you did,
Okay.
you did,
Yeah.
and it was it's far from what my wife can sing. So if I'm going to sing it to her, I mean, I wanted to at least to be at her level. And so part of the problem is I'm not Chinese.
Hmm.
You know, I look Chinese, but inside I'm the furthest thing from being Chinese. And it's the and I'm wearing the Year of the Tiger shirt because this is
Hmm.
the Year of the Tiger, and um, and when Chinese women first met me, they would say like he he just looks Chinese and he could pass, but then like most things he does is just furthest from the truth. It's like fakeness, right? In the sense of is like what happened. So there are all kinds of terms. One could say hybrid, one could say, unique, but there's also terms of abomination, right? So why I want to highlight this is um, if we go and stay in the United States, we might probably be okay. But if we go to Hong Kong or China, um, it starts to really show, especially during the holidays. And it's called August 15th, but according to the lunar calendar. And I said, why would anyone still want to look at the lunar calendar? And apparently, this song, um, it's just really, really popular, and it's one of the most popular songs. So there's no better time to bring this up because now we're in an age of looking at diversity, right? Equality, and look what happens when people discriminate and things like that. But I can tell you that this is just definitely one of those things where you could be highly discriminated. Now, because I'm doing research, I have the funding to kind of like embarrass myself, but at the same time to fix it. At the same time, to not fix it and say, at least I want to make sure emotionally I'm singing it the right way, right? Just like the English song. So I wanted to power through the Chinese one first, and I wanted to give you enough preface to this so that we don't look at just this. All right, okay, why is Dr. Chu trying to do something that he that you could enjoy life without having to do this, right? Um, and so I'm going to bring in the Wharton stuff because this is really, really interesting. You've heard of work with who you have, whoever supports you. Um, that is really the path of least resistance, right?
Hmm.
And at Wharton, now that we've gone to this level, it's not the undergraduate level, not the MBA level, it's the executive management level where they're saying, no, that is true. as you get up to this level. But now at the top level, if you're going to influence change, if you're going to do public change, then you have to, as a leader, serve everybody. This is very interesting. Like, it can't be just serve the ones that like you, build your community and audience, which is exactly what I've done, right?
Mhm.
But if you're going to do social change, if you're going to want everybody to benefit, whether they like you or not, then you have to um, find a way yourself to communicate with a larger group of people. And that was really interesting, and it had nothing to do with this research that I'm doing with music, but everything to do with it, because I said, wow. So I created a drink that helps remove pesticides. I've been doing that for a while. And what is happening in Wharton is to create a wash for chicken feed using an altered form of that drink so that it could serve the masses. And one company, which is one of my colleagues' company, they contribute to 5% of the GDP in the Philippines. And so in a Western country like us, I would love to do something here, but it just wouldn't score very many points on the social enterprise side. Apparently, most people don't feel that we need that much social enterprise, even though we do. But in the Philippines, it would really be beneficial as opposed to Hong Kong or something like that. So that is a very interesting project, because I had to get buy-in from my colleagues, and they were not interested in eating organic or stuff we've talked about. They didn't really quite understand why that's necessary, and what I had to do, and why I barely sleep, and is I had to convince them that when you feed your animals lots of pesticides, their immunity goes down, and when their immunity goes down, they get sick, and when they get sick, they bring about diseases, and because we eat them and we raise them and we farm them, we might get sick. Bird flu, avian flu, pig flu, which is swine flu. Those things keep affecting us, and as the world gets richer, we're in a time of abundance. Everybody wants to eat something better as they mobilize to a better lifestyle. By 2050, we can't afford it. We just can't afford to farm the way we've been farming without the consequences that we've been experiencing. And COVID is a good example of that. How much did that impact our lives? A lot. So we need to change how we do. And so this time, because of all the things combining together, I said, I need to find a way. And if I add a little Harvard in here, my coach says to me, try to think of something that would help you. So the moon represents my heart. I really thought a lot about my grandparents, and how oftentimes when I was asked to when I would ask, like, how much do you really love me, instead of me singing it from a perspective of how much I love my wife or how much I love my kids, if I sang it from that perspective, I get different tones. It's almost like something else showed up, and oh wow, it's possible. And if I'm supposed to also in the research affect other cells, maybe by also thinking about, and I'm going to switch my screen here so that we can see the lyrics. This is just somebody who has translated the lyrics. Do you see it here in from simplified traditional to English? And then here's the pinyin, which is something that I can read. But most of my life I would try to do this. And then with opinion, I can say it. 你问我爱，你有多深? And now I'm saying it like an American. But if I can just imagine for a moment, instead of the language, just how my grandparents treated me, and then how I'm a Christian, so how did God sacrifice for us? And then when we ask, how much do you love me, God? And he responds, and there's the footprints saying, when you were at your toughest times, it was carrying you, right? So if I try to get into that mindset, meaning, gosh, only God can help us get to the answers when we have more and more people wanting to have a better life, and that pesticides is not the solution. And yet we can't just go to all organic farming, because if we did all organic farming, it would cost too much. We have the pesticides, but perhaps we can wash it out, and only you with your love can get me there, because I just wanted to stop. It's so hard to convince executives. It's easy to communicate to people who love you and like you. But Jesus didn't do that. He cured the blind, the people with leprosy, and then in the end, they crucified him, right? No one stood up for him. And I'm just not Jesus, because you can be resurrected. I don't want to die, So it's like, if I put in all these emotions, according to Katie Brewer, right, my coach at Harvard, maybe I can try to express this and win a little bit more of the convincing side, as opposed to, just hitting notes. Because hitting notes is the first layer, but then that's just hitting notes, right? So
Right.
I'm going to try
You're
to
just
see.
hitting notes. It's really the substance behind underneath.
Yeah. So see if I'm gonna.
Okay. I have English lyrics too.
Oh, good. Okay. So this is just for people watching, they can see this too. 你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情不移，我的爱不变，月亮代表我的心。轻轻的一个吻，已经打动我的心。深深的一段情，叫我思念到如今。你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分。你去想一想，你去看一看，月亮代表我的心。What do you think?
I thought it was good. I thought in the beginning, your
Yeah, switching over. Yeah, yeah.
I thought by the time you got, I'd say,
Mm,
2/3 into the song,
mm.
your breathing relaxed
Mm,
and you really connected on a deeper level. I think it
mm,
took you a little time to get there. And
yes.
that's what I was thinking when you first started. I thought, oh, I just wish that the deeper breath is going to get you more connected, and it's also going to connect voice and people when you,
Mm,
because I don't think people breathe enough, and in singing, when you get to a deeper breath, you're really supporting and you're really connecting on a deeper level. But by the
mm.
time you got 2/3 through, you were relaxing and your breath was deeper.
Yeah, the thinking really, somehow I also noticed that even in talking, um, your brain is not the same as singing,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to sing a little longer, and then not talk as much, because if you talk, you think. So, um,
Your
so
chatter
from
goes away
yeah,
when you sing.
that's right.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try this again.
Okay.
So how do I do this, so that when I start, I get right into it? Is it holding my breath, breathing, and then just really thinking more about the song?
Well, what I think you should do is really think about your breath.
Mm,
So when you breathe in, you want to have the breath prepared. So
mhm,
so you already have the breath filled and
mm,
ready to go, not breathing and then singing. You know what I mean? You have to be a little
mm,
bit more prepared and
mm,
really think about singing into that rib cage deep, taking the time to breathe.
mm. 你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。
I'm going to stop you for just a
嗯
second.
嗯，
You think you could take a breath in halfway in between those phrases? La
好，你
la da da la da, and just take another little breath to refresh yourself.
嗯。Let me see if I can find these lyrics in a like without all the interpretation. So
Yeah,
just the opinion, so that I can just read it.
yeah, I have genius.com.
Oh yeah, let me see what this does.
It just goes.
Maybe maybe
Yep,
this
that's
one
the
is
one
okay.
I have, I
Yeah,
think.
okay, all right. Then I'll yeah. Oh yeah, this is like this is better. Okay.
Okay, so you asked me how. I don't know how
No,
deep.
yeah, 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 right. And no, so that's the problem is either when the English translation doesn't
Uh,
sing. Yeah, the so yeah, it's
but you could go.
you asked me how deep you
When will I and then take another little catch breath. You see,
right,
so you
okay,
can
okay.
support. So just take.
你问我爱你有多深？
See, so then Shen is
Mm.
nicely supported.
I see. Okay,
Just
okay.
have that extra little breath.
Okay.
Singers do that
Mm,
all the time. They're not just taking a breath and taking it and using the whole phrase. They're taking,
mm,
they're just catching, they're replenishing.
okay.
Okay. It doesn't take away from the song.
Mm. It's just phrasing it, right? I see. Okay.
Crazy. Right. Now,
Yeah.
some singers that are very seasoned and the singer Teresa, she sings that all in one line, but you don't have to. And then sometimes she will catch breath a little bit too. So but for
Yeah.
catch breathing, is a good thing to do.
Yeah. She actually had she never had singing lessons. She's naturally, some people are just born with this
Yeah.
this capability. So
It's a,
yeah.
it's a skill that singing is a skill. It's also
Mm,
mystical, but yeah.
yes. So
All right. So just think of taking catch breaths.
okay. All right. I see that. And then well I need LG Fen is just one one phrase then, right? That's okay, right? The second one, this
Yes.
part
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So this I can do as one shot. Okay. So here we
As
go.
long as you take the time to just breathe, relax, and get into your breath.
你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。How was that?
That was much better. Much. How did
Okay.
you feel? More
Oh,
relaxed.
I felt better. I felt less constrained. I didn't know what to do with this part right
Right.
here. Yeah.
Right.
So that
Now,
was good.
another thing you can do, which is going to help the breath and help
Mm,
the breath support your singing, is
mm,
to really focus and have with those clear vowels.
mm.
Shen, like instead of shen, she, get that in there.
Oh, okay.
Right.
你问我爱你有多深？
Yeah, just make sure you get it. You don't have to hold it out, but
Oh,
shen.
okay. 深.
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go. Yeah, because the voice really likes and knows how to sing on vowels.
Mm,
So if you give them nice clear vowels with a nice stream of breath, it,
mm.
your vocal cords are very happy.
Okay. And how about like the is it too bright or should it be lower? Like 你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分。
I actually like that better.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. How do I know which one to use?
Hold on. That would be B flat. You'd start.
嗯 你
So you
问
start on an F, but
我
it's
爱你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。I guess it's more of a of if I'm speaking really quietly,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And yeah.
Let's try it a little bit higher.
你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。
Now let's try it here.
你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。
I like that. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, it was
That was like right. See, keys are very important.
how
So
important are they? Because I can do them all, right?
yeah, you can do them all. They're important to know where a song lies easily in your voice, where you can
Mm,
communicate it and
mm,
not reaching, and that it feels good.
yeah.
And songs are all different for everybody. You might be that was in the key of B, which started on an F sharp, but it just seemed the song needed that key in your
Mm,
voice
mm.
because
Because
the other one
yeah,
was just a little low. You could do it in the other one, but it just
right.
was a little low, and it was getting into it was kind of laying low. The high one, you were reaching just a tad, but you were still
Mm.
good. But this one just laid right. It's
Yeah.
hard to, you know, in my opinion.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think it must have felt that way too, because you can usually tell.
Well, I noticed that if, like, for example, if I speak like this to someone, I sound like, let's say you didn't see me at all and you're on the phone, and instead of smiling, I'm actually just like talking with you like this. It sounds I'm so serious.
Right.
Versus if I raise my brightness, then, and or if I'm talking with my kids, hey, so so right. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm I'm so, it's
Right.
so I'm thinking, like, in sing I made it very extreme, but in singing, it's gotta have something to do with that, right?
Right.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't want it to sound too serious, and I also don't wanna be, like, too cavalier.
Hmm.
So, and I wanna be sincere, so there's gotta be, so I think I get that too, and then
And
yeah.
but this song, like the low was becoming too the lower
Mhm.
one, but the
Mm,
higher one was a little, you know, it wasn't as deep. That
mm.
middle one, which would be the F sharp, which you start on an F sharp and go to a B, that just felt like, oh my gosh, okay, now you were connecting to with what you were feeling
Okay.
more easily than the other two. Although,
Mm,
you know, this is a we're this is very we're cutting hairs here, but
mm,
you know, a producer would probably really hear that as well. People
mm.
respond too, because it sounds better in your voice.
Yeah, yeah. So even it's like when I believe what I'm singing,
Hmm.
it's so much better.
Right.
And just like when the key is right, it also helps, right? Every little bit, combines together
Yes.
um to ensemble or symphonically put things together. Those aren't, real words, but you get the meaning, is that some things need to all be aligned in order for positivity or some kind of effect to happen, right? So 你问我爱，
Let's do this. Me.
你问我爱你有几分？我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？我的情不移，我的爱不变，月亮代表我的心。轻轻的一个吻，已经打动我的心。深深的一段情，叫我思念到如今。你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？你去想一想，你去看一看，月亮代表我的心。How was that?
That was lovely.
Oh,
I really that gave me a little like tingles.
oh, that's
Just because
good.
you
Yeah,
were really into it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
relaxed to it.
I was relaxed.
Yeah, it
Mm,
was really, really nice. I hate to say it, but it kind of gave me a bit of a lonely feel. You know,
mm, yeah,
just, I don't know
right.
what this, you know, the song means really. Why don't you take a look at it? But
Well, I'll tell you what people have. shared with me. Like initially, I was like you. I said, like, I don't know what this means. And also, did you notice that the one that I pulled up, and then the one you have, and the one that now we have the same, is they have different ways to write the pinyin, right?
Mm, yes.
So that like some, kan is like one word.
Mm,
The other one they split it up. And then even the spelling, ni chu, like it's chu, the other one is different. And it's like, and then when it had all the Chinese in there, and then all the other things in there, my brain was, I couldn't focus. Right? It was like because I can read some of it, I can't read most of it, but I can read some of it, and then it distracts, right? Versus here, what's distracting is the English, because it's I'll tell you what I've learned from the song is that the song really is about the moon represents my heart, right? That's the title, is that the moon goes through phases. And sometimes when the moon isn't full and not total reflecting, doesn't mean it's not there.
mhm, mhm,
And that's how deep my love is for you. It's so deep that if you want to understand what it is, please look at the moon.
mhm,
Please think about what it is, because sometimes um, it is when you don't see me or much of me at all, I'm still there. And that's when I was thinking my grandparents, is that just because they're past in this life, it doesn't mean that they're not here. And that helps, right? Somehow that connects more. And I was not quite there when I first sing it, because it's hard to do it. But then you asked me how deep my love is for you, and I'm still here, even though I'm physically not. And so if you think of it that way, 你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分，我的情也真，我的爱也真，月亮代表我的心。The moon really represents my heart. I'm here with you, even though you can't see me, or even perhaps I can't speak it, because my role, let's say, in life can't be so accommodating. It can be used in so many different ways. I can't always let you not do your homework. I can't always, right? Be I can't spoil you only, right? But I have to be, as a leader, I have to sometimes be a servant, but also other times I need to also exert, right? So that brings it into full force, because they had us send in pictures of what we thought was a leader. And some people brought up Mother Teresa, others brought up Gandhi, and my picture was the sword and the stone, is Merlin with King Arthur, and King Arthur doesn't know he's King Arthur at the time, but Merlin needs to support him so that he goes through the motions of becoming the once and future king. So practicing songs have largely, like, it's been very interesting to even taste this, right? You sing this song and you understand more about being Chinese than just, like, you could be immersed into the song, and why it's a very popular song, because it just speaks to the culture, and it's wild. I mean, I grew from doing this, singing this song. Now I also grow a lot from where is this one, right? The next one would be, let's say, the wind beneath my wings.
mhm.
um let's see, the wind beneath my wings.
Bette Midler song.
Yeah, now, so here's the thing about, is like, I'm supposedly American, but when I sing, to be fair, I also find that I'm not quite, in the sense that how could these songs just I guess having both sides of the brain, or being a hybrid, you don't get deeply enough to any song. And so I pulled this lyrics up. I don't know if this is the right one, but it's how would you do this one? Is it with the same mindset? Because I thought it's like, I don't treat people like this. I don't put them in my shadow. But maybe I did, with again, with my with elders. It's easy oftentimes to get, when you're younger, to get so focused on what you're doing that they are left in the shadow. Do you think that that interpretation works?
Yes, I do. I feel like
Mm,
this is a song about somebody who has been a little neglected,
mm,
but um, not unloved, but just
mm,
neglected because they
mm.
weren't able to be there, or for whatever reason wasn't there, or was distracted, or whatever. And it's sort of I don't know, maybe just stating their truth, and that oh, they've always loved them, but and an apology. It's, I think there's a bit of an apology there too.
So I also thought about our bodies, right? If I'm going to affect healing, oftentimes we neglect our sleep.
Mhm.
When we sleep, we think that every cell got charged. It's not even like charging a phone. And charging your phone, your battery doesn't work the same after 10 charges. So could you imagine, every time you go to sleep for 8 hours, and you say, wow, how come I don't feel quite right in this body? Not the first 8 hours, maybe the thousandth 8 hours, right? Yeah, this doesn't feel right. And so I'm going to try to sing it using elders, but also using the cells of the body. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. Beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings. How was that?
Nice, nice. Um, I think that if you think about singing vowel to vowel and singing that beautiful melody vowel to vowel, and leaving the words as a shell, it's going to come out better, because this song is really about that beautiful melody.
Mm.
Happens to be extraordinary words, but the melody, da 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 da. I mean, you hear an oboe or anything playing that, and
So
it's so
don't talk, sing. You say sing.
correct.
Okay, I
Yes,
see.
sing vowel to vowel. This is more legato singing. It's more
Mm,
open vowel
mm.
singing. Make sure you have that lovely deep breath. Have it prepared, and then start.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wing. So
Yeah, that
more
was
like
good.
that? Okay.
Yeah, very, very nice. You felt that verses, you
Yeah.
were really connecting. There was a deeper connection.
Mhm.
Now, when you went to "Did you ever know that you're my hero?" It's a very emotionally. You don't have to put as much emotion as you do as you
Mm,
think. If
mm.
you just open up and sing that beautiful vowel and melody. So
Oh.
try that.
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Yes.
And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And
All right.
sometimes we get emotionally. Did you ever know? And it
And
it
it's like too much, and then you're
melodramatic. It's being
yeah,
melodramatic.
yeah, right.
So
Okay.
what's going to
Hmm.
happen? What you do is you open up to the vowel and a nice open vowel, and the melody. You don't have to be as dramatic as you think when you sing.
Mm,
Otherwise,
mm,
it becomes melodramatic because
yeah.
it's emotional, but it's really the emotion isn't going to touch people. It's really you opening up to the vowels and allowing your breath.
Mm.
That's where the deepest part of singing would be on top. I mean, singing on your breath.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, did you ever did you ever know that you're my hero?
So sing. Did you ever know that you're my
Oh,
hero? Open vowels like choir
oh,
vowels.
oh, choir vowels. Okay. Did you ever know that you're my hero?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see that
Yeah.
those three lines need those lovely open vowels, the
Huh.
choir vowels.
And how do you know that when you do, like, you know how we did some pop songs, we did other things, like how do we know, like how do you know? Right.
That's so funny. I've
Yeah.
had another student ask me that a couple of days
Mm,
ago. I don't know. I mean, if you hear if you hear Bet or if you hear anybody else singing,
mm, mm,
open up. It's just because of the way the melody is written. Da
mm,
da da da. It soars.
mm,
It just feels if you recorded yourself and you
mm.
recorded yourself singing that way, opening up the vowels versus not, you would definitely say, "Oh, it sounds better with the open vowels."
So, so the
Except
moon
for like
represents
somebody
my
like
heart, though.
you,
This
what?
one, right? Would I be 你问我爱你有多深? Now it sounds like um this one I actually discussed it with my wife. She said that that would sound like you're singing national anthem.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
This,
Versus this one, you need to actually do that
yes.
in okay.
It's a bigger, louder song.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Singing it songs are really they kind of tell you what they need depending
Hmm.
on your voice and what
Hmm.
you do. Some songs scream a little country, some
Hmm.
songs need a little rock, but
Hmm.
this one's a big it's a ballad. It's a rock ballad, kind of a pretty big rock ballad, almost Broadway.
Hmm. Wow.
The other one it's much smaller. It's more like a lullaby, kind of pop lullaby in a way.
Hmm.
It's very tender.
Hmm.
This one's it is a little more dramatic, but you don't want to sing it dramatically because it's going to come out melodramatically.
Hmm. Yeah. So some songs you want to sing it, like I Dreamed a Dream, you want to be dramatic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I Dream
Right.
Big is a big
Yeah.
song. You want
It's a
to,
big song, but
and
you're not like you're really you not you know you really have to do it up, and then this one, you do it too much, it's melodramatic.
right,
Very interesting.
exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Hmm.
But this song, Wind Beneath My Wings, is bigger than the Chinese song.
Hmm.
In my, it's a little bigger.
Yeah, yeah, and and what you mean by bigger is like how to
Yeah,
sing it, right? Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a more wide song. It
Hmm.
needs a little more of voice, where the other
Hmm.
one, we die, da dies, and la la. It's tenderer.
Hmm.
There's more of a tenderness about it.
So if I sing this with a lot of tenderness, what happens?
This, I'm not sure. It To me, if you it must have, it sounds, I don't think that the way the melody is
Hmm.
written, that the
Hmm.
melody will be able to sound as strong, because it's
Hmm.
pretty broad. It's a pretty, I don't know, lush melody. I think it needs a little bigger, more open vowel, and it needs more support underneath. It needs to be a
Hmm.
little bigger. Sing it just tenderly. I mean, it could work too, I'm sure.
Let me try. No. It
Mhm.
must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to. Oh wait, I got this wholly wrong. It must have been cold there. It must have been cold there in my
It must
shadow.
have been cold there in my
Oh
shadow.
yeah. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. It just then I'll just jump that down here. Did you ever know that you're my hero? Yeah, it's just maybe it's too light, right? I think
Yes, it's too
yeah,
light, and
yeah.
that
And,
melody needs a bigger support. It
and now
needs
it's tripping me up. I can't even remember what I was saying, right?
exactly.
Because I was changing it so much that I said, what am I singing now? All right. So it must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your
Open
face.
vowels, remember. Quiet.
You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. And that's not too melodramatic?
I don't know. I thought,
Okay.
because it's showing off like your lovely voice. No, I don't think that's
Okay.
melodramatic. Not with
Okay.
this song.
Oh, really? Wow.
Did
All
you?
right.
How did you feel? Didn't you feel like you had a really strong hold on that melody?
I do. Because it was contrasted with the moon represents my
Right.
heart. I'm having a little hard time switching over.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
That
yeah,
is.
I'm like a little bit worried that this is like a national anthem. But you're right. Maybe it needs to be.
It is bigger like a national anthem.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
It
Right.
needs, but like I dreamed a dream again. It needs more. I mean, not to say it needs it. Anybody can sing any way they want,
Mm,
but
mm,
for in your voice and what we're doing, I think that this works really well for you to have it for you to really get under it and get bigger, more sustained, open vowels.
Yeah, I agree. Let's try this again. It must have been cold there in my shadow. Now, how about the key? Is the key right? It must have been, or or it
It
must
must
have
have
been
been
cold
cold
there in
in
my
my
shadow.
shadow to
never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walk a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile without the plane. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. That note, that key?
not quite sure.
Or did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings.
Not bad. It must have been cold.
It must have been cold there in my shadow. Or it must have been cold there in my shadow.
It must have been cold there
It must have been cold there in
in
my
my
shadow.
shadow to never.
It must have been cold there in my shadow. So lower or higher?
I like it. Just keep going where you're going. To never have
To
sunlight.
never have sunlight on your face.
Make sure to breathe.
You were content to let me shine. That's your way. You always walked a step behind. So I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. High like that? Bright like that?
I like that. I like that.
Okay, all
You can
right.
go either way,
Okay,
depending. You don't, I don't, but that was really, really nice.
okay,
Really very, very nice.
all right.
Yes. And there was,
Why was it very nice?
because your voice was fully supported to the
Hmm.
pitch was really nice. it just felt really, really good. And then when you went into the chorus, you
Mm,
didn't have the as broad of a vowel that we had talked about, but it
mm,
worked because
yeah.
you were connected with it, and you made it a little smaller, but it was still good. It still worked. Every
Yeah.
time we sing something, every time we do something, every time we breathe, every moment is different in time. So
Mhm.
you know, it's so hard to, you know, say, oh, I'm going to do it this way again perfectly, because it's going to come out a little different.
I find that if I can really embrace with the song, then it'll just be what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. You can have like an approach, like an engineer,
Right,
or, you know,
right.
they say you have an, okay. But once you get into that project, then suddenly, oh, well, this isn't working, or this is, or that, or that. And then you kind of veer off. It's like writing is the same way.
Well, the
It,
TED Talk was a forever reflection of that. My first TED Talk, which didn't make it on TED.com. So if you type in into TED.com, type in my name, don't use the doctor, just first name, last name, you'll see that I only have one. But if you go officially into the TEDx, you'll see that there's two.
mhm.
Um, and and the first one I memorized it and I said it verbatim. um the company at the time was raising 80 million, and so the TEDx became that, right? It was a memorized speech, and it was, yeah, I tried to even try to memorize funny, right? I had some jokes in there and other things, but it had very low views. First, the topic was foreign, but then on top of that, it was it was a memorized speech. I memorized it probably 1,000 times, and then I said it exactly like the words were.
Yeah.
Now, inventing happiness wasn't that way. It wasn't for a raise. It was really just a reflection of what I was doing for my family. And I tried to use the same techniques, but because the topic was about, how I pivoted and did other things, I it didn't come across the same way.
Mhm.
um and and I wasn't making some presidential speech. I wasn't doing some thing, like that. I was talking about sincerity and being genuine and family. So I kind of just threw everything away and just said it was whatever came out at the moment in looking at the crowd.
Mhm.
And the comments I got from that was that that one was so different. It was like so genuine. I feel that in singing, if I'm trying to get to my cells, like if you don't believe me, Diane, or if the of a physical person doesn't get moved, how am I supposed to move the tissues in my body,
Mhm.
right? That's 1,000 times harder. So or more. And it's and at least now with this, we can. I like this, so that we dove deep into the Chinese song as well as into this one, because I feel that these two songs deserve it, right? In a sense that you can't just, it's like going through Yellowstone. Some people go there and they check the box. I saw the old guys are done, 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 and you just check them. And then others, they just spend a whole week at the Old Faithful, right? The geyser, and then they move on, and then they spend another week somewhere else, and then it's okay. We'll come back next time, right? As opposed to let's just rush through like a museum, right? Let's go through from A to Z, or Disney. Let's go on every ride, as opposed to let's reflect on the ride, right? Now,
Mhm.
what did it mean? And we don't need to get every character signed on our book, right? As opposed to that, we'll come back. We'll come back. We're staying for like 6 months at Disney. So therefore, right, take your time. That kind of mindset is
Mhm.
what you almost need for your body, because the last time you spoke to it was never, right? You never talk to your thumb, right? And until you can't move your thumb. And then your physical therapist says, like, you now had a stroke. Let's try to move your finger now. Um, there's so much data, Diane, on this actually working, and yet there's so little um, usage of it because it's so hard for the people in medicine to look at. But now we don't have a choice. Now we're in a situation where the costs, the diseases, they're no longer problem solution based. They're paradoxes. So it's almost like if you're trying to solve a paradox with many different angles, you need to be able to get in there, and somehow music has that ability, that I hope, with all the modernization, we find a way to utilize this in more areas, especially when you're I'm going to give you a disease that's really interesting. It's a condition. It's called sarcopenia. One of my students is working on this. As you get older, your muscles start fading. I'll pull this up really quickly and then I'll end with you. Sarcopenia. So here is the ICD-10 code. It's a disease. Oh wait, what is sarcopenia? Here we are. Okay, so you can see that a muscle wasting and atrophy. So it's a syndrome characterized by progressive and generalized loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength, with a risk of adverse outcomes such as physical disability, poor quality of life, and death. So sarcopenia, right? And now you can also have sarcopenia and obesity, right? So there's obesity, and so what'll happen is sarcopenic obesity has been characterized as a confluence of two, namely the aging of a population and the obesity. So imagine just being fat but losing muscle, and then as that happens over time, you injure yourself. I was carrying groceries and I was fine before. I was singing and I was fine before. Now it's 20%. So 20 out of every 100, right, will have this. 2 out of every 10.
It's scary.
It is scary, right? And then so what could you do about it? Well, practicing, singing, but singing deeply, right? Making sure your cells, I think that if they knew that you cared about your cells, as opposed to, right, that you're just always leaving them in your shadows, almost like the song had this, then when you need them to work for you the most is when they're not listening.
So what you're saying, I mean, what you're relating it to is that our bodies could be the one that we're neglecting.
Yes, and when we pay attention, we pop a supplement. That's what we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Bodies, and we're from what, some mystical or whatever, the bodies are just our vehicles.
That's right. That's right.
Our bodies are just our little cars.
Yes.
If we run by or if we live by the spirit,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Diane. I'm going to stop here so we can wrap up. But thank you very much for those 2 songs today.
Oh, you're so welcome. They were wonderful. Thank you for singing them. You're awesome. What year are you? I'm the year of the monkey.
So I'm 1974. So that's this would be the year of the tiger.
Oh,
I am actually the year of the tiger, wearing the year of the tiger shirt.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
You're the same as my little daughter.
Oh, okay.
She's also year of the monkey.
Yeah, I'm a year of the monkey, which I guess is hey, whatever we are, it's awesome, right?
Well, I decided to have wild animals in my family. So my wife is a rat, and I'm a tiger. So we all live, outside. And so my oldest one is a horse, and so you could have a wild stallion, and then so no domesticated like dogs or things like that in the family. So horse, monkey, rat, and tiger. So all wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. So I'm going to stop here,
All right.
and we'll end. Okay. All right.